Change your flat faster than Lance. Let's go. Materials needed. Tire lever. New inner tube.
Air pump.
Step 1. Shift into your smallest cog to make the wheel easier to take off. Beautiful. Undo the quick release of affected tire. Also, release brakes if you do not have a disc brake. Now that your tire's off, insert the tire lever opposite of your valve under this bead, lift, and push off over the rim. Once you got that first bit off, it gets a lot easier. You only need to take off, this is called the bead, you only need to loosen off the rim, one side of the bead. Next, we take our old tube out. Importantly, next, you want to feel with your fingers the inside of your tire to find any thorn or debris that might have caused your flat in the first place, and make sure to remove it before you put the new inner tube in, or you might just get a flat as soon as you put the new one in. Now remove the cap and grommet off of your new inner tube, as it's just going to get in the way at this point. Okay, next, before we put the tube back in the tire, the new one, we're going to fill it with just enough air that it takes shape, but not any more than that, where it deforms to larger than its dimensions. Yeah, that's about right there. If you don't fill it with a little air first, the unfilled tube can fold over between the rim and the bead and actually get a flat while you're filling it up. And that will be a very loud flat. Okay, to put the tube in the tire, we're going to start right at the valve. Put the valve through and then work your way through both sides, pushing, or rather pulling the bead over the tube and tucking the tube in. Tucking the tube into the rim. Now that you got the tube in, it doesn't hurt to make sure your valve's pretty straight. At least I like to do that before you push the bead over. And again, I start on the valve side of the tire and work my way around to the opposite side with both hands. And here you can kind of get the idea. If you hadn't pre-inflated the tube just a tiny bit, you could see where the bead could overlay itself over the tube against the rim and cause a flat when you fill it the rest of the way up. Which, yeah, believe me, that's not fun when that happens. Okay, sometimes the last little bit takes a little muscle. This tire is pretty easy. And lastly, we're gonna fill the tire up to the appropriate pressure signified on the sidewall. Okay, and you can return the grommet and the cap if you so desire at this point, and then just throw it back on the bike. Success. Okay, don't forget to re-engage the brakes. Now we just got to take her for a test ride. Now for your old inner tube, you're going to want to find the holes and patch it so you can reuse it. That's my opinion anyways. I have patched this guy before. See my video on how to patch a tube correctly. Your last step, take her for a test ride. Woo-wee!